had some really, 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 really great whiskey in 2023.
Yep, we did.
Some amazing whiskey. And like, as you guys can already tell, we put out our videos on the best bourbon of the year, the best rye of the year, the best whiskey of the year, best finished whiskey of the year. So we put all those videos out. In all of those videos, they were bottles that we owned, but there were also other pours that we had throughout the year that weren't necessarily from 2023, and we didn't necessarily own them, but they were some of the best whiskeys we've had.
Yes, there's a lot.
Yeah.
We're going to name off, I don't even know quantity of them, but we're going to name off a bunch of the whiskeys that we had this year that we just loved and thought they were amazing pours.
And also, while we're at it, while you're watching this video, leave a comment. Let us know what the best whiskeys are that you tried this year. Always curious to see. And while you're there, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It's super easy to do. It's free.
It's free.
It's free to subscribe.
Best price, free $99.
Free $99. All right, so let's get into this list. Let's take a look at it.
I think the number one overall between both of us is the first one we're going to have on this list is the Michter Celebration.
I mean, you can't beat that.
It's just a mic drop of a bottle.
It really is. And it's not just like you have something in your mind when you're going to try something like that you have an expectation in your mind. You're like, okay, this is going to be so good. You get it. You're hype, man, right? You're hyping yourself up. You're like, I know this is going to be so good. It's going to be so good. And sometimes you're disappointed. Sometimes it doesn't live up to that. But this one we tried and we were like, it's literally heaven in a glass.
And every one of these bottles on this list could be, they could be all hyped up, but they lived up to the hype.
Yeah,
so every one of these
all lived up to the hype, all tasted amazing, all stuff we love. And speaking of Michters, I want to go ahead and go over one that's on this list that's from Michters also, that actually is probably the best bourbon of the year that we had, the best whiskey of the year overall for our channel that we actually own. And that is the Michters 10-year bourbon. Fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah, it's so good. And there's not much to say about it. I mean, you did a review of it. It was in our bourbon of the year and was the bourbon of the year. So that's it's awesome.
It's amazing. It's so delicious. I really love it.
So this is an ad lib one that we're still talking about Michters because we're going to bring this one out because we got this in Kentucky on our trip. The 10-year rye. It belongs on this list. It's phenomenal. If we would have had this when we did our rye of the year, it would have been on there and probably would have won.
It probably would have won, actually, now that I think about it. I mean, it is just really fantastic through and through. From the nose palate to the finish, has a great richness of flavor. I just really, really like it. And the oakiness is spot on. And it is so good.
You'll see this in our Kentucky video that we do. I tried this at like 3 different places, and then we got a bottle of it. So it's awesome.
We had the luckiest thing, but you'll see that in that video too. So that one definitely should be included. We got that at the end of the year.
I think that's enough about Michters.
Enough about Michters. We love Michters. Clearly, we love Michters.
Next on the list, King Kentucky 18.
Oh.
I know that was a 2022 release. It's awesome.
Any King of Kentucky that I've ever had is fantastic and delicious, and I love them all, and I want a bottle of one someday. I mean, we did see some bottles on the shelf somewhere.
Yeah, we saw them at museums.
Museums, yep. All right, moving on to the next on the list. This is one that you...
Oh, I love this bottle and want this bottle so bad. I just can't find it for the right price that I want to pay for it. Wild Turkey Master Keep 17 Bottle and Bond.
So good.
It's a phenomenal bottle. I know one of our patrons just posted in the Discord community. Yes, if you're a patron, shameless plug, you can get in the Discord community. Just found a Master Keep 17, not the bottle bond, but that 17 is an awesome one too. But we did try that this year too, so that could technically be on this list if you wanted.
Yep. Another really good one. Wild Turkey, so good.
Yes.
Give me all the turkey. The next on the list comes from one of my favorite places ever, and that's Orphan Barrel. Freaking love Orphan Barrel. I'm an oaky girl. Y'all know that by now. I love the oaky stuff. And that didn't stop with the Lost Prophet. Freaking, what can you say? It's good.
It's phenomenal. We had it a couple times this year, and it's a great bottle. I know that one gets really expensive on the secondary, the reason why we don't have it. So,
yep, we're not buying it.
If it falls on the right price, we would, but it's a little too high for us to want to buy that one right now.
All right, what's the next one on the list? Ooh.
Going back to the turkey.
Gobble, 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 gobble.
I know a lot of people asked about this one on our Bourbon of the Year, which we said it's an awesome bottle. I think we had it in a different video. It's just we didn't want to pay the money for it. The Russell Single Rickhouse Camp Nelson F.
It's so good. It would have been up there in the top 5, I think, of bourbons of the year.
I think it would have been in the top 3.
I mean, it could have, but also was another thing on this list that I would have said maybe could have been number 1. I don't know. But that Russell Single Rickhouse, again, it didn't go on our Bourbon of the Year list because we don't own it, but it was one of the best pours we had all year.
Yep.
We just didn't want to fork out that kind of money for it. And speaking of a bourbon that we had this year that I think could have been in the top 5 or top 3 or whatever of bourbons of the year, and that is the Four Roses LE, the 135th edition. It is fantastic. I mean, all of these are fantastic. I don't want to keep saying this over and over again. They're fantastic. They taste good. They taste rich. They have a good finish. I mean, literally, they made top bourbons of the year or whiskeys of the year for a reason, and that's all you can say about them. They're fantastic. So I don't know what else to say, but I love the Four Roses LE from this year, and it is just, it's so worth it. And if you see it, buy it and scoop it up. And I wish we had one.
Yep. And the next one's still from Four Roses. It's not a this year release. It's a previous year release. It was Four Roses Al Young. Delicious. Oh. It is so damn good.
We are so grateful. I mean, a couple of these pours, multiples of these pours on this list are from some of our friends, and we're so grateful for that. Actually, a lot of these pours that we don't actually own bottles of, we got samples of from our friends, or we got to try them with our friends, and that made it even better.
Paid for them at bars.
Yeah, or we paid for them at bars, but like, it's really cool how the community comes together and shares bourbon, and that's why I love this community so much.
Which this next group here, we have a group now. Whiskeys this was things we tried at Neat this year.
Oh yeah.
I was at Neat twice this year. You went once because I went earlier in the middle of the year.
Neat. We're talking about Neat in Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville, Kentucky. If you haven't been there, check it out. They have some crazy dusty pours for pretty good prices, honestly.
Yep, and that's what we're covering right now with some dusty pours we had. The 89 Wild Turkey, so damn good. 89. You also had a 91 turkey.
No, 92.
92.
Yep,
turkey.
92 turkey.
I had a 91 Blanton's. I think they might still have it there if you're in the area when this video comes out. It's like a 16-year-old Blanton's, apparently. It was damn good. Anderson Club, 10 and 15 year.
So good.
The Virgin Bourbon.
Ooh,
I think 7? You had a 6 or 7.
6 year.
I also had a Virgin Bourbon 10, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, so some of those Dusties are just so damn good. And I want Dusties. So
I just
good.
like the flavor on them. You can't beat. It's just something like I've never tasted before. When you taste it, you know, like you just know that you're drinking a Dusty.
Something old, and not old. I mean, it could be old, but
not aged bourbon necessarily.
It's just produced a long time ago.
And it tastes different, and it's so good.
There is a different taste.
I love the pre-fire Heaven Hill stuff, all of the older Wild Turkey. It's just all fantastic.
Every time I'm at Neat, it's I go to the whiskey list, and it's all pre-fire Heaven Hill and Old Turkey is basically everything I drink.
I know, me too. I'm the same way.
I guess while we're talking about Heaven Hill, we'll go to the next one, which is Evan Williams.
Same thing, but
Evan Williams 23.
So, we got to try this one at Pours in the Park with Chrissy and Matt, and oh my god!
I also got a pour of it at Neat.
Oh yeah, you did.
Earlier this year, not while we were out there, but when I was out there earlier this year. Evan Williams 23. It's a thing of beauty. If you haven't tried it, find one and get a pour of it. It's just good.
Yep. Really
if you like oak. If you don't like oak, you're not going to like
it.
That's
true. If you don't like, a lot of these are really oaky.
Yeah.
A lot of these on the list, actually. If you don't like oak, that's crazy. If you look at our list, it's like a lot of oakiness. Yep. If you don't like rich oakiness, then you probably aren't going to be interested in trying many of the things on this list. That's okay. They're really good. They're really, really good.
So next one on the list we have, we got to try at our local cigar bar. Someone brought this bottle in, a couple months ago? A month ago. Not even a month ago. This is before we left for Christmas. It was the 2023 Thomas Handy.
Yeah, so I feel like over like the last several years, or the last few years of drinking whiskey, I've never really tried a lot of BTAC. Like, not often. Maybe one pour a year, maybe, from somebody that shared it or whatever. But this year, I feel like I got to try a variety from years past that I really enjoyed. They were really, really good. And that 2023 Thomas Handy.
It is good.
So good. It really stands out.
I do want to try the new 2023 George C. Stagg.
Me too.
Haven't found it at a bar to buy it yet. So.
All right, what's next on this list?
Next on the list is a bottle one of our friends ended up getting, and we got to try it. Is the Booker's Rye. That is damn good.
It is fan-friggin-tastic.
Yes, it is. And I just don't know what else to say. It's Booker's Rye.
Have you ever tried Booker's Rye?
Have you ever had any? Well, Knob Creek Rye. It's Knob Creek Rye on steroids.
That is true.
Yeah,
it is Knob Creek Rye on steroids. It definitely
is. That's kind of it. Booker's
yeah.
Rye.
Yeah, it really is good. The last one, but not the least one on the list that we got to try this year. And
Couple times,
yeah. This is the Parker's Heritage Double Barrel
bourbon. I think it's bourbon. Yep. But yeah, that one it's interesting because I normally don't like double barrel toasted finish whiskeys, but that one is so damn good.
It's literally maple syrup, like really sweet, breakfast, rich caramel, vanilla, toffee, like all of that in your face. I just remember it. And it's one of those memorable pours, and when you have it, you'll be like, that stands out above so many other things that you'll try, that you'll recognize it. And it's not going to be something everyone loves. Nope. Just like every bottle on this list is probably not something everyone loves.
And it's got some proof too, if I remember. I think it's like 136.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. But
something like that.
It's a great bottle.
Absolutely.
If you get a chance to try it, try it. That's all we had on our list.
Really didn't have a lot more.
It's all that we can remember right now that we have on the list.
I said that next year we're going to, like throughout 2024, we're actually going to keep a list in our phones of the best things we've tried. And then I don't know, that way we'll have it at the end of the year and we can really share then.
Yep.
Like where we tried it, how we tried it, whatever. So that's what we've got for you today.
That is it.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching, for being here, liking, subscribing, doing all that stuff. We'll be back with so much more of The Average Drinker. I'm Dara.
I'm Bill.
And we'll see you next time.